Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm GrimpaulCheese, and welcome to Hand of Fate. This is probably like the multiple times I've actually said this to the people on stream, but nevertheless, technical problems aside, welcome. So, what is Hand of Fate? Hand of Fate is not in fact a hand that guides you along your fated destiny of life, neither a foot of choice, that you can put one foot in front of another, but it happens to be a game where you are trapped in a game of life and death. And in fact, one of the few playthroughs I put on the YouTube channel that will actually be done with a controller instead of a keyboard. That's merely because it feels more natural with a controller, unlike many other games where I am stubborn and decide not to. So, for those on stream, you will be seeing all of this lovely playthrough, all the run-throughs and so on and forth, while all of you on YouTube will only see the actual successful playthrough. Yes, that sounds about right. So, there's that. So let's start, shall we?
One more for the game. Come, sit. You have passed the 13 gates. And you come to my table to play the game of life and death. Your stake is wagered. I refuse none who come here. Yet, I say, turn back.
So here we are, in front of the table, where a man is playing a glorious... What would you call this game? I think he's just more showing off his magical abilities, really. So nevertheless, aside from the game of magical abilities, let's start once again. Actually, what I should do is turn down the volume. That does sound like a good idea. If you hear the clicking clacking of a controller, like that, then, yeah, I do apologize about that, but there's nothing I can do. Right, so I had to go off screen to adjust the volume. So far, so great right now. So what do we want to do so far? We want to actually play the game, all technical difficulties aside. So, let's start once again.
The game begins. One lives and one dies. Let us see what you are made of. Here is the first member of my court, the Jack of Dust. 12 in all must fall before you may challenge me.
The bandit leader is stronger and faster than most bandit encounters. He becomes enraged, making powerful unblockable attacks. He also inspires his followers to steal gold on hit. In the ruins of an ancient temple among the eternally shifting sands dunes lives the mysterious leader of the desert bandits, infamous for his reign of terror over any spice caravans that dare to take their chances traveling through to his domain. He rules as a king over the barren lands of nothing but the roaming sands of life and death. As you can see, he's got a magnificent beard and a dodgy eye. So let's play, shall we? Against the Jack of Dust.
Let the cards fall where they may. We begin.
And here we are, in the meat of the game itself. So, what we can do is by clicking this and see what we got.
Cards here.
Yeah, so as you can see, we are random adventurer, who I will aptly name as Mister Fibbles. Mister Fibbles happens to have a giant ring in his head. Why? I guess it's kind of like an oldie hairband. So we've got a rusty axe, and we happen to have light armor, light defense, with no penalty to our lovely speed. As you can see, we've got a nice lovely tunic, and that's about it. A nice bit of, well, boots really, but a good old spike in it. And we got a rusty axe, we got nothing else. We got no helmets, no shields, no artifacts. So yeah, we got no upgrades if we press Y.
Here is all you have gained.
Which is nothing. Mr. Fibbles has not gained anything other than a magnificent beard. I mean, look at that beard. It's amazing. So with that, we shall leave and continue. So here's our first adventure. What are we going to find? I have no idea. A twisted canyon.
That first moment, that glinting weapon, the call to action, to adventure. Truly, there is nothing like it.
There isn't. There's nothing like jumping down an endless canyon and breaking your shins. You see a weapon glinting in the sunlight, lying next to the skeleton at the bottom of the canyon. The water canyons are covered in thick vines, perfect for climbing. We can either be like, yeah, they're not as thick as they seem, or we can be like, yeah, there's a shiny object, let's go get it. Let's go get it, shall we? Climb down and retrieve this glinting ancient weapon.
Choose from these options.
Now, I think the evil card, the failure, the skull, with the vines across it, is in that one. So what I would do is I would go over here, because it most likely won't be over here. Aha, that's right, success! Very carefully, you make your way to the bottom of the canyon. You retrieve the weapon from the ancient corpse. And we got a normal axe to replace our rusty axe, which does, well, a few more damage. There's a bit more damage, and it's not so rusty, so it's chipless. So it does 5 more damage to be more exact. So yeah, that's, well, kind of really good actually.
A moment to savor. That will make you much more effective.
Yes, having a regular shiny object. So for those who don't know, the rusty axe is something you will forever and ever have. So that's the thing. So let's go to our next adventure. What's going down here? So all of this...
I was never a fan of illusion or pretense. Here, I'll make an exception.
Okay, fair enough, but all of this is our journey to the Hand of Fate. Well, the Jack of Dust, anyway. And we have to kill all of his little minions to fight him. The dealer, the man in front of us. We could just stab him in the face. But we're a man of honor. We like fun and games. I mean, don't you like fun and games? Everyone loves fun and games. Anyway, let's talk to this man with a foaming cup. Whilst enjoying your evening meal at a local tavern, a strange old man takes a seat next to yours. He taps your shoulder quite painfully with his wooden staff to get your attention. Then you notice he appears to be a goblin, poorly disguised as a human. His wizened face grins at you with a hint of madness.
My name is Mr. Lionel. If you give me what I need, boy, I'll conjure up your heart's desire
With this wizarding wand of my own creation! He cackles uncontrollably for a few moments, then sits patiently waiting for your answer. We can give him the bread from our plate, the 20 gold we do not have, or ask him what he needs, or just ignore him as a crazy old man. So we could eat or give him what we're currently eating. We could just ask him, what do you want from me? But you know what we do? We just give him what we have, what he sees. Otherwise, he wouldn't ask either way, wouldn't he? He considers the bread seriously before placing it carefully in his coat pocket, seemingly satisfied. Mr. Lionel taps his old staff on the ground and a shield materializes at your feet.
Here you go, old bean.
His smile was a warm grin that reveals his chipped, yellow teeth.
Your face reminds me of my son. I haven't met you before, have I?
And you draw a shield card. And there we go, we got a shield. Shields, with this trait, allows a hero to reflect projectiles back at the attacker. This must be performed with precise timing as the projectile draws near. Press the Y button to reflect projectiles and look for the green indicator above the hero's head. And it also can counter. Weapons with this trait allows the hero to counter their foe's attacks. Look for the green attack indicator above the foe and press the Y button to counter him and kick him swiftly in the crotch. But it basically, you can block and then you can reflect. That's all shields are really useful in this game. There's no such thing as armor class, other than the clothes you're currently wearing. And the clothes you'll probably get later on. Clothes, basically, not metal plates you get to put on your arm.
You can now reflect your opponent's ranged attacks using your shield. Make good use of this skill if you wish to survive.
He speaks a lick of sense, too. Then, before you could stop him, with inhuman speed, he snatches a pickled onion off your plate and sprints out the tavern door. So he wanted the onion all along. And there we go, that was Mr. Lionel. But what the real question is what was Mr. Lionel leading up to give us a shield? Ah, the Fair Maiden.
Fair Merith. I'm not surprised to find that this encounter remains vivid in your memories.
One day, in a shady forest, you encounter an elven maiden. She stops to greet you on a unicorn, and then the unicorn shifts you in the gut.
I am Merith of the Forest Folk. My people have long helped the mortals of this world. What boon would you ask of me?
Well, as I can't ask for your unicorn, I will ask you for the most important thing of it all, unlimited food! We could ask for life and gold, but to be honest, in the type of game where food is a resource and you don't really need to worry about disease, nor paying where to live, and all of that. All you have to care for is the amount of bread and, well, chicken you have in your pocket. I think it's best to ask, really.
This bread will sustain you for many days.
We gain 2 food cards, and we get the amount of food of 3 and
I'm sure you're grateful for that.
and 3. So just so you know, all bread happens to be apple. It's apple bread. That's the only thing I can really think of. I don't know if apple can be turned into bread. Be kind of interesting.
It is said that a sharp-eyed adventurer may protect himself from the worst lady luck country in nature. Very well, mortal.
So that's that, and that's the end of our first journey. And we delve
Bound
further.
once more, seeking the heart of it all.
And the heart happens to be the Jack. So we can either go back and decide to walk backwards for no reason at all, or we can take the stairs. This is very useful in case you randomly come across the exit, as majority of the time the exit is not as easy to come across. You embark on the next leg of your adventure.
You are on the final floor of our simple map. Your opponent waits here for you. Find him. If you defeat me, well, it is early to be talking about victories and losses. Let us see what you're made of.
Alright, fair enough. So one of these 4 squares happens to be the Jack of Dust. The Man of Dust. The man is so dusty, he in fact has got dust in his name. So we have a traveling mage who just happens to be dwelling in this ancient temple. In a shady grove of the beaten temple, you find a traveling merchant looking to trade with wandering adventurers. Mage sells only specific items that are discovered in faraway lands. Their prices can be high, but they can also pay well for anything that catches your interest. Sure, let's have a look at what you got.
Greetings, wise traveller. I have much to offer you.
If you were wondering why you've been collecting all that gold, you now have your answer. We're
I haven't
starting
got
to
any
get into the
gold.
meat of the game now. The back and forth between resources and rewards.
I don't have any gold, game! I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Are you telling me to sell myself off to the merchant? But I don't think you'll accept a quickie. But nevertheless, let's see what he's selling. He's selling some artifacts. He's a dragon ring. An absolutely useless item in this part of the game, as you can see. While all dragon relics or crypts receive plus 50% maximum health and full healing after every combat. We don't have any other dragon relics. So we don't have that. What about chemical silver? Which basically, well, we attack faster with each strike, and an explosion happens after a certain amount of time. And then we get a plunger's hat. We're basically wearing a hat that allows us to actually see better. I get the kind of flap there, you can access a pair of sunglasses. No, we don't want any of those because they're massively over expensive, especially for that silly little hat. But I do like it's got a little icon in the little ball thing. That's nice. We can buy food if we want. We can buy 1 food, 1 apple bread, and then we can sell items like this shield, which we will not do. And we can sell the axe. But do we want to do that? No, we don't. We don't want to get rid of our only possessions. If any spare ones, then yeah, sure. So let's delve forward. Who's here? A winding trail.
An ambush. Hardly fair, is it?
Suddenly, a tree crosses your path, blocking the way ahead, and the tree tries to molest you. Weapons bristle from the trees around you. The wilderness face is obscured by undergrowth. Give us all your gold, or die! We don't have any gold! Why is this game, trying to penalize us for having gold we don't have? We're going to attack the cowardly band that are daring to threaten me. I'll do it anyway, even if I had gold, because, hey, murdering's completely fine. It's their fault. They're telling me to die. We shout a battle cry, and we raise our weapons. The battle begins. So here we are fighting 3 of Dust, which happens to be 3 of the Men of Dust, which happens to be, 3 bandits, basically.
You can now counter your opponent's attacks. Hit the counter button when you see the flashing indicator.
It's a shame I'm using an Xbox controller. I'm just using this random controller I bought many years ago, but yes, thank you for telling me for a controller I don't even use. But nevertheless, it tells you how to do things, and I'm going to try and figure out what the buttons mean. Yeah. So as you can see, this is Mister Fibbles, and these people are trying to kill me. And there's a counter, and we can... Oh, a nice dodge roll and a bill and a hamstring. Yeah, let's kill you. Alright, that's another one. Oh, that one in the gut. The shower axe isn't that sharp. No, I lost our combo. I don't like you. Go away. Friend is currently asleep. So the more attacks you have, the higher the combo. The higher the combo, the better attacks you manage to do. And now we're no longer in the forest. With people dead at our feet, we can now venture onwards. You search the bodies for loot. We gain 3 cards. Oh, we gain a piece of armor, which happens to be another shield.
I cannot expect you to get by without some protection.
Yeah, more shields. Let me just cover my body in nothing but shields.
Really?
Sounds fantastic.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with covering my body with tons of shields? It's like having a giant arm with nothing but little plates. So we also gain some food. 3 apple bread, and 3 more apple bread. I got 25 days worth of food. That's a lot of food. So who's here? Ah, the Jack of Dust.
You have reached my first champion. A good man, driven to madness by a war that took all from him. Wife and child, kith and kin. From such dark and brittle iron, I forge my tools. Now we see your metal. This token will unlock more cards if you can defeat this encounter.
So this is the first reward we'll actually get. You see those glowing, well, tokens over there? Those 3 things will allow us to gain more things. And then eventually we'll unlock everything. That's basically how the game works. You kill people to get things, to get more events, and then you get more things to get more events. That's basically how it works. But nevertheless, let's show this Jack of Dust what it's like to be a pile of dust. He's accompanied by 4 of his men, it seems. Hardly fair, isn't it?
Some enemy attacks cannot be blocked or countered. Get out of the way or stop them with your own counterattack.
So as you can see, when it's red, you cannot dodge them. Oh, no. I need to remember the controls. It's A to... Yeah, okay. It's X to die for. Okay, because I'm using the PlayStation controller, you see. Oh, one hamstring. That man bored, and he's probably going to hit me. No, not today. I'd rather kill your friend, please. Nope. You're not going to do any attack against me. I want to kill your friend on the floor if you don't mind. Oh, that slice in the gut. Oh, right in the back. Now, if you attack them too many times, they do get an innate attack to do on you. Like that. If you attack them too many times in a row without giving them a chance, they just cancel out the stun and try and hit you. It's not very nice. Nope. So we didn't see much of this man's power. But just like that, he is down.
Down into the worms with him. Perhaps there is peace for him in the grave, poor soul. One champion has been sent to the cabinet. Yet we are only at the start of our road. You will face 11 more opponents who will test your strength, your memories, and your resolve. Few fall at the first hurdle. None reach the last. We have wagered, and you have won. You may claim your rewards, yet I will also claim mine. As you improve, so do I. Balance must be retained.
Sadly, we didn't see much of the Jack of Dust. He does have an ability that allows him to give others to steal your gold. The amount of gold we had was absolutely amazing, you see. A whopping 0, but nevertheless, let's see what we gained from murdering such a man. As reward, we gain this little card. The Jack of Skulls, our next champion to go after. And then we got a Dead King's Hall, the local peasants, the Devil's Choice, a river to go across, and the Captain of the Guards. The next one. Oh, we got a reward for defeating him, which is medium armor, finding an armor upgrade. A Chain of Rage. Mercenary Contract. Medium armor, Fortitude's Breath, and Desperate Measures. Now, last one happens to be, what is this? Ooh, more events. Oh, bandit attack, something we cannot get rid of. As you can see, the lock on it means it cannot be get rid of unless you do something very particular. We got a maze of traps. You know, I just realized this entire time a mouse has been on the screen. That's very professional of me. Sorry about that. Great way for the first video. And then we got goblins. And with that
Shall we deal again?
was the Jack of Dust. Next time
Ah, good.
on the YouTubes.
Now you understand the basics, we can begin in earnest. Your hero is returned to his beginning items. Our decks are reset. Welcome to the cabinet, home of the members of my court.
We do story mode. That's an awesome looking box. As you can see, we beat the Jack of Dust. And next we have the Jack of Skulls, who we are next going after. So you on the YouTubes, it'll be the end here for you. And next time we will kill the Jack of Skulls.